Welcome back to Pop's Reclamation Station, and we're working. What we have on the bench right now is this Dinky toy Austin Atlantis. Now I've already taken it apart. I've already taken the the rivets on the rivets. If you can see it, there, I got it in focus. Looks like it was pale blue originally, and then somebody painted it black with had a red interior, and the casting is in really good condition. Now it had different hubs on the front. Looked like somebody had changed them out from what would have been this kind of beigey cream color, which was they came in cream or red, depending on what color the car was, but you can see it was blue, kind of a faded light blue. But and as you know, Dinky Toy was never consistent with their colors. They often were different shades of blue depending on the paint batch. Now it has a steering wheel and a column in there, and I'm going to take the steering wheel out. I've already, if you look inside here, there's the end of the steering wheel pin, and I've already had it out, and I had to cut a little piece off the end. They had that twisted over so it doesn't pop out. Now when I went to take it out the first time, it was rather long and it got caught on the seat, so I'm going to try to get it out here. Now it doesn't want to come out. Come on, there we go. So we pop it out and get the little there we go, steering wheel, and it's in good condition. The spokes aren't broken, and the dash is actually made of metal rather than plastic, which is nice. And it slides in on the sides, and we'll show you. It slides in right there on both sides. And there's the dash. Got a little bit of detail to it. It's got the glove box and a couple of the dials would have been in there, the speedometer probably, and whatever, maybe the tachometer. So there's this casting. It's pretty dirty, all ready to go to get stripped off. And normally these get broken. They're usually broken on one side, and this one is in good shape, so it's going to be a nice restoration. Not much to it. A little bit of detail on the front and that. A little bit of detail over the trunk and around. Other than that, it's pretty simple. And the base is a little bit rusty on the inside, just a touch, but that'll all clean up. And this is Austin Atlantic number 106 is the Dinky number on that one. Probably out of the late 50s and into the 60s, I'm assuming. I don't have my book downstairs with me right now, so I wanted to look that up, but I didn't get into that. But anyway, that's all ready for getting stripped, and once we get all that done and get ready for primer, we'll come back. So here we are back with the painting, or the primer done, and I don't know if you can see this, the white is not coming out very well because of the light, so you can't see the front very well. Oh, there, maybe get you in focus here. The casting on the front light on this side is folded over the light there a little bit. I did a little bit of work on some spots where the casting was rough. Did a little filing here and there. It's got a little dent right there, if I can get I don't know if I can get that to focus because the white paint is not showing. Anyway, there's a little dent I'll have to fill in. So I'm going to do some masking so that I can do the seats. A lot of you guys hand paint the seats, but I never like the way the brush strokes come out on that. So do some masking here and get the red paint on the seats done. Yeah. So thank you for my old subscribers hanging around, coming back. I haven't had too many comments lately. I know I've been a bit short on time getting back here because of having some health issues lately. That hasn't really helped my situation, and trying to get my blood pressure and everything back in order after my little heart incident. So I think it's been about a week since I've been down here. I've been on some new medication, and it's not been doing the job. And if any of you know, if you're on any kind of heart meds for your blood pressure, some of the stuff, if your blood pressure is off, you have headaches, and then some of the medication gives you headaches. Well, I've been having a week full of headaches. One is my BP has been off, and two, the medication hasn't been doing the job. So I have to contact my cardiologist and get that straightened out. So you young guys who may watch this, take care of your heart. If you're a smoker, I would suggest stop smoking, because it'll catch up to you when you get older, and that's no fun. I hadn't smoked since I was in my early 20s. I quit at some point and never went back to it. But for me, the issue seems to be in my family of having issues with the heart, and I hate taking the medications because they sometimes are worse than anybody that's having to deal with doctors and medication, you know. Sometimes they're worse. If you ever see especially if you see the American advertisements for different drugs that they advertise, and then that they have all these disclaimers at the end. You'd wonder why people would want to take the drug. They're worse off by taking it than they were with dealing with their issue. So I really don't like taking meds, but unfortunately in my case I'm going to have to do that. My father had issues when he was young, when he was in his 60s, and I'm in my late 60s, so things I got to deal with. And we'll get this all masked up, and then we can paint the red in there, and we can get the blue. I think I'm going to go with the blue. Well, and I apologize, when I did the loader last, I did not tell you what color I'm bad. I'm bad for that. I didn't tell you what color I painted it. And I'll show you the can there in a few minutes. So I get this masked up here. Cooperate with me. Come on, get down there. It's starting to look not too bad. Get it all in order. I use a number of different kinds of masking tape. The screen one that I'm using now seems to be pretty good for keeping the lines nice and firm, so I don't have any bleeding. It's just a matter of getting it down nicely and nice and tight in there. And then that's looking pretty good, ready for the red paint. And because I'm working in my basement, it's a little bit colder outside today. I'm hoping to get this done before my furnace kicks on, so you don't hear that in the background. I think I got it pretty good. Got her down there pretty tight. And we'll get it painted up. And we'll come back when it's painted. Okay, so just was in the spray booth there and did this gloss Colonial red on the interior. We're going to let it dry. And when I did the loader, I did in yellow. It was just a gloss, just a trim clad gloss yellow. If you notice, I don't have a spray top on there because I've been having trouble with these, with this particular kind of spray top. I'm getting plugged, so I have to keep changing them all the time. Anyway, that was the one for the loader. So Colonial red for the interior, and then I'm going to do this. This is a beauty tone. This will be the first time I'm trying this particular brand of paint. I think, where did I get this? I think I got this at, might have been Home Hardware, possibly. And it's French blue, and that's the blue that we're going to do on the rest of the car once we get that all dried up. And I was working on the tank and the Mighty Antar, and I've come up with this kind of a dirty, sandy brown, and I'm going to do some camo on it. And I looked at about 4 videos of how people were doing camo, and one of them was just like, he must have did 20 or 25 different applications, and I thought, well, I don't want to be bothered doing all of that. I'm going to try and do it a more simple way, and that's what I'm going to do when I get back to that one. I just with my issues with my headaches, I haven't even thought about getting back to that, and I'm going to simplify the camo on that. And that's there's the tank. That's all apart, and I'll follow up on that one. I started the one video on it, and I'll follow that up once I get to that, back to that one, so I get feeling more myself. Anyway, that's where we're at right now, and that's the latest one. And I want to thank all my, as I was saying earlier, thank you guys for hanging out there. And I've had a few new subscribers. I still haven't reached 50 subscribers yet. I'm hoping to get there. I know there's a lot of guys out there doing it now. I've noticed that because so many people have been at home, I noticed that there's a lot more people doing this online, so I can understand not everyone getting to watch what you're doing. Anyway, we'll be back once we get into the blue, and till then, thanks. Okay, let's get this finished up. So we'll put the wheels on, and the tires, wheels in place and the tires on, and got the dash all in. Just slides up in those two little grooves in there. Remember from the beginning when we took it apart, two little grooves on the side, that just slides in there. And I showed you the blue on the last video, blue that I was using. I'll get there and we'll turn this over in a minute. And I'm using these self-tapping screws that I bought at Hobby Store. They're for the aircraft hobby. So get this in place here. I could go to all the trouble of tapping them and all that, but I felt these do just a nice job. Finish up nicely. So there they are in place. Base plate's all painted up. Did a little bit of the detailing. Just chrome work on the front on the there. A little bit of chrome work on the dash and on the dials and on the middle of the steering wheel. And I decided to paint the wheels red. They came, I think they were like a beige, sandy beige. Anyway, that's the finished product right there. And as I was saying in the last video about going on to the other ones, and it took me a while to get back to this one. I was away for my granddaughter's birthday up north for about 4 days, and I got hung up there because I had to wait for the weather to get cleared up because it was freezing rain. There you go, round and round and round. So on my way back down, I stopped and I made a couple of purchases. And this would be probably an early, I think it's pre-war. I'm not sure who the where'd it go? Stay up there. I'd put a rubber mat on there, I guess. Hollow cast lead. I'll have to do a little repair on him. Not sure who the maker is yet. I'm gonna have to strip a little bit more off of here. It says London and it says made in England. Very faintly. I'm gonna see if I can get the paint off and see. There were a number of different makers over the years, and I've been doing some research, looking up pages and pages of cast soldiers, and can't find those particular ones. I can find the ones with the round. They were John Hill. Some of them were the round, but most of his had spaces either between the legs or between the arms, so hard to know. And then I found this guy, very rare, John Hill motorcycle guy, and he's in pretty decent condition. Just the handlebars were broken. So these guys were pretty hard to come by. Get him sitting down there a little bit more. I'll have to make a wooden stand for him to stay up. There must have been something that came with them. There's a hole under the gas tank, and there must have been a piece that held these guys in place so they would stand up, because he didn't stand up. Anyway, so that's where we're at with our finished product, and on to the next little bit. I'll probably do a little repair video on him, and we'll see you next time around. with whatever. Is it? My turntable is acting a little weird. Anyway, until next time, see you guys then. Thanks for hanging in with me. Catch you later.